Welcome to the Explainer. Today, we're totally decoding the 2026 simple summer nail trend. We're going to show you exactly how to get the most stylish, current hands of the season right at home. If you've been noticing that incredibly clean, effortlessly chic aesthetic taking over literally everywhere, well, you are definitely in the right place. Okay, let's just dive right in and reframe how we think about summer manicures. So often, we assume keeping up with beauty trends means parting with a ton of cash and giving up hours of our free time. But honestly, the beautiful truth about summer 2026 is that you absolutely do not need endless time or professional level skills to have stunning nails. The trend has actually moved to meet you exactly where you are. We've structured this explainer kind of like a ladder. We're going to climb through the 2026 minimalist trend, look at zero-tool single colors, touch on easy art with cheap tools, talk about short nails for quick mornings, and finally, build your foolproof DIY toolkit. Starting off with Section 1, the 2026 minimalist nail trend. Because, listen, simple summer nails aren't just a budget compromise this year. They are the actual defining trend of the season. Minimalism isn't settling anymore. It's the active choice. This really gets to the practical logic behind the trend. Think about it. Highly complex, dark, or 3D art gets totally wrecked by summer sun, sand, and chlorine. I mean, a chipped 3D flower just looks like a ruined manicure, right? But the 2026 reality leans hard into the minimalist aesthetic. A slightly worn sheer coral or milky white still looks completely intentional, and it actually ages gracefully as you live your life. Now, because these designs are so stripped back, your basic execution is absolutely everything. When you take away the heavy art, there's literally nothing to hide behind. Thin coats, a super clean prep routine, and, this is absolutely crucial, capping that free edge with your top coat. That's what separates a look that reads as elegant minimalism from one that just looks kind of unfinished. Capping the edge is basically your ultimate insurance policy for surviving those Long Beach days. All right, moving into Section 2, Zero Tools, Perfect Single Colors. We are stepping onto the easiest rung of our ladder here, designs that require absolutely zero tools and zero art skills. This is the purest form of the summer 2026 aesthetic. If you want the absolute fastest route to 2026 relevance, look no further than these four standout shades. Butter Yellow is the creamy star of the summer, hands down. Sheer Coral Jelly gives you this juicy, translucent finish that hides growth flawlessly. Milky White is your elegant, cloud-soft anchor. And Seagrass Blue, it gives you that calm, sun-warmed vacation vibe. Two thin coats and a glossy top coat of literally any of these, and boom, you instantly have the most current manicure in the room. But hey, if a solid color feels just a little too basic for you, try the 80-20 rule of nail design. Simply swap one accent nail to a neighboring sheer or milky shade. It's crazy how this magically transforms a plain, solid color into a deliberate, styled design. And the best part? You still haven't even picked up a single nail art tool. Which brings us to Section 3, Easy Art with Cheap Tools. Let's level up a bit and see how introducing just one or two incredibly cheap household items completely blows wide open your nail art universe. We are talking major wow factor with minimal effort. So before we get to the art, we have to talk about dot discipline. If you grab a cheap dotting tool, or honestly, even just the rounded end of a standard bobby pin from your bathroom drawer, you just need to follow 3 foolproof steps. Dip lightly, dot once, and immediately redip. Actually, scratch that. The most important part to remember is to never drag it. Dragging a drying block across the nail is really the only way to ruin a dot. Follow this rule and your dots literally cannot wobble. And this just perfectly illustrates how that one single dotting technique unlocks an entire universe of art. You could do imperfectly spaced polka dots over a butter yellow base, which is wildly forgiving, by the way. You can create adorable 5-dot daisies, no drawing required, literally just dots in a circle. You can line up metallic microdots for a high fashion look, or even create little watermelon or cherry accents using just layered dots. Now, what if you love a crisp French tip or an ombre blend, but you don't exactly have the steady hand of a salon artist? Good news, you can skip learning complex brush techniques entirely. Just rely on tip guide stickers for a perfectly crisp micro French tip. Or for a gorgeous sunset or baby boomer ombre, just paint your 2 colors onto a cheap makeup sponge and bounce it onto the nail. The sponge literally does all the blending work for you. All right, on to Section 4, short nails and quick mornings. Let's dive into how we adapt these super simple techniques for 2 massive real-life constraints that, let's be real, so many of us face: having short nails and having absolutely zero time in the morning. Let's talk short nails first. They're actually the natural home of this 2026 minimalist trend. Elaborate art just crowds a short nail, but minimalism, it scales down perfectly. The rules are super simple. Keep it to one element per nail, stick to light bases, and let negative space do the heavy lifting. Whatever you do, avoid thick, heavy horizontal bands of color that visually chop the nail in half. The real secret here is using optical illusions to your advantage. A sheer jelly wash of color will visually blur the edges of your nail, making them appear longer. A micro French, which is really just a hairline tip rather than a thick band, extends the visual nail bed beautifully. And a single vertical gold line, it naturally draws the eye up and down, instantly elongating your whole canvas. But what if your beach bag is packed, the taxi is literally waiting outside, and you have zero time? We aren't talking about 20 minutes here. These next tricks are genuinely 5 minutes or less. The absolute ultimate morning lifesaver is the glitter rescue trick. If you have yesterday's chipped manicure, simply paint a champagne glitter over the two most chipped nails. The chips instantly vanish under the sparkle, and suddenly the whole set looks like a deliberately accented, fresh manicure. You can also do a sheer tint refresh over bare nails, because shears forgive any rushed, sloppy application, or just slap a glossy top coat over buffed nails for an expensive, trendy glass nail look. Finally, Section 5, the Foolproof DIY Toolkit. This brings us to probably the most empowering realization of this entire explainer. Executing every single design we've talked about today requires a ridiculously manageable, low-cost shopping list. Here is your entire Rule of 3 arsenal. As you can tell, it is incredibly budget-friendly. You can completely forget about dropping cash on expensive e-files, complex stamping plates, or professional airbrushes. A simple dotting tool or bobby pin, some standard tip guide stickers or tape, and a $1 makeup sponge will literally unlock 40 different summer looks. That is the whole shebang. That's all you need. Yes, $3. I really want to highlight this number. The single most useful item in all of nail art, the dotting tool, costs just $3. Or hey, it's completely free if you just grab a bobby pin. This absolutely proves that the 2026 aesthetic is entirely about accessibility and smart choices, not about luxury spending. Ultimately, simple designs put all the judgment on the execution. When you don't have loud art distracting the eye, the finish is what matters. This means a high-gloss top coat and consistently hydrated cuticles with daily oil are your ultimate secret weapons. That combo right there is exactly what makes a cheap 3-minute home manicure look authentically salon-sealed and super expensive. I absolutely love this quote from our source material. This 2026 trend asks less of your time, fewer of your tools, and gentler skills, but gives you back so much more. It allows you to quickly cap those edges, grab your beach bag, and as the quote brilliantly puts it, spend the saved hour where summer actually happens, out in the sun rather than hunched over a nail desk. I am so glad we could explore this empowering trend together in this explainer. You are now fully equipped to get that flawless minimalist 2026 look completely on your terms. I'd love to know what minimalist shade you're going to try first. And it kind of leaves us with a bigger question, right? If shedding complex beauty standards gives us back so much time and money, what other high-maintenance routine should we rethink next? Keep learning, keep experimenting, and enjoy your effortlessly stylish summer.